we're going to discuss a new chapter, Indian Constitution. Why does the country need a constitution? Today, most countries in the world have a constitution. While all democratic countries are likely to have a constitution, it is not necessary that all countries that have a constitution are democratic. It lays out certain ideals that form the basis of the kind of the country that we as citizens aspire to live in. A constitution tells us what the fundamental nature of our society is. A country is usually made up of different communities of people who share certain beliefs but may not necessarily agree on all issues. A constitution helps serve as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want the country to be governed. Next is history of Nepal. Nepal was a monarchy. The previous constitution of Nepal, which had been adopted in 1990, reflected the fact that the final authority rested with the king. A people's movement in Nepal fought for several decades to establish democracy, and in 2006 they finally succeeded in putting an end to the powers of the king. Now the people have to write a new constitution to establish Nepal as a democracy. Nepal, by moving from a monarchy to a democratic government, needs to change all its constitutive rules in order to usher in a new society. The caption alongside elaborates Nepal's struggle for democracy. Next, the Indian Constitution key features. The long experience of authoritarian rule under the colonial state convinced Indians that free India should be a democracy in which everyone should be treated equally and be allowed to participate in government. This was done not by one person but by a group of around 300 people who became members of the Constituent Assembly in 1946 and who met periodically for the next 3 years to write India's constitution. Next is federalism. This refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. Panchayat Raj is the third tier of government. It was important to have another level of government in the states so that decisions could be made for that particular area. The constitution contains lists that detail the issues that each tier of government can make laws on. All persons in India are governed by laws and policies made by each of these levels of government. Next is parliamentary form of government. The Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage for all citizens. The people of India have direct role in electing their representatives. Also, every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, can also contest in elections. Next is separation of powers. According to the Constitution, there are 3 organs of government. These are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislature refers to our elected representatives. The executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. Next is fundamental rights. The section on fundamental rights has often been referred to as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights therefore protect citizens against the arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the state. The Constitution thus guarantees the right of individuals against the state as well as against other individuals. Next is secularism. A secular state is one in which the state does not officially promote any one religion as a state religion. Summary of the chapter. The Constitution plays a crucial role in laying out the ideals that we would like all citizens of the country to adhere to, including the representatives that we elect to rule us. Indian Constitution has been amended over the years to reflect new concerns of the polity.